Has mainstream media given up on the case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers? Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is a 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. According to his mother, Katie Proudfoot, she put Sebastian to bed at 9 p.m. She heard a thud at 10 that she didn't look in on, and she went to bed at midnight. The next morning, Sebastian was gone. People have been poking a lot of fun at the Proudfoots, and I think the public just wants to know what's going on in the case. After 8 days that Sebastian was gone, finally the Proudfoots went to the media to ask for public help in finding their son. But their answers and their behaviors on that very interview started making people feel very uncomfortable about what may have transpired inside that home and what may have happened to Sebastian Rogers. We're also learning from posts from Katie herself that law enforcement knows everything that they do. And it leaves a lot of people to question, this is a missing person. When have our parents ever been under constant surveillance in a missing person case? Chris Proudfoot was seen with deep scratches and abrasions, and some people believe impressions of bite marks on his arm some 8 days after Sebastian disappeared. It's getting to the point where we don't know if Sebastian will ever be found, but we still have hope that we can bring him home. But when I go to see what news has come out from mainstream media related to Sebastian Rogers, there's nothing here. Has mainstream media given up on this case? Let me know your thoughts. I'm Bull. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work. We will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. And more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.
What is up, my beautiful people of YouTube and X? We are running from both platforms. If you are on the Crime Stories and you can't talk, you can come over to our main channel. Our Crime Story channel is for our members that don't want to be part of the big the craziness. They want to hang out with the members. So you can go over there to Crime Stories if you're a member over there on that channel. And anybody else, be on the main channel or on Twitter. It's nice to see everybody this afternoon. I have been thinking a lot. We're going to be opening the phones up later, but I keep trying to figure out how in the world we can start correcting this ship and start figuring out how we can make this about Sebastian. We've had a lot of chaos go on in this case. This is Sebastian right here. He's the 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and has not been seen or heard from since. And of course, there has been some wild, and I gotta tell you, it's hard not to point the fingers. I get it. I get it. My finger hasn't stopped pointing. I'll be honest with you, okay? I get it. I get what everybody is talking about. But at this point, we still have a child that we need to find. A child that is out there somewhere. A child that is loved. Okay? He is loved. He's loved by many people, including each and every one of you. So we need to find him. And sitting here and pointing to the obvious, I think we've done that for the last, 60 days? We're at 80 days now. We started really beating them up about, 20 days in. So I think at this point, we need to get focused back on where can Sebastian be? What can we do to help correct this ship? Where is he? So I decided to map some things. And I put some people's names on here because I think that they're important to this case. And this is kind of where we're at on our maps. There's two major areas of concern. Well, I mean, if you wanted to be like major areas, right? We have the area over in Gallatin, Hendersonville area, and then the area over in Memphis and Horn Lake, Mississippi. So we have two major areas here, and we have space between those areas, right? I have always been a firm believer. Now, this doesn't mean that this is true, but I am a firm believer that, people are creatures of habit. And because I believe people are creatures of habit, it makes me look at a very specific pattern. Okay? Where are they most comfortable roaming around? Where do they have the most network of people? Where's their most concentration of family members? So outside of one friend, and I don't even think it's a friend, all these people to me, I believe, are all related. And who is exhibited on this map? We have the home of Chris and Katie Proudfoot that Sebastian lived at. We have his high school that he went and attended. We also have Melissa, the sister that saw them that day, that went shopping with them. We also have Dara on here that told the world that Katie came by and picked up a couple kids. We have the Bowersocks, and we have Big D. Now, what I will tell you about Big D is I no longer believe that he would be a participant in knowledge of whatever's going on in Chris and Katie. Here's why. He might be a big tough guy. He might be one of those people, their bark is louder than their bite, right? We know a lot of people like that. More people like Bullhorn Betty than you think. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Everybody knows my bite's worse than my bark. I need to stop. This is why. This man has way too much to lose. I can tell you this man is smart enough to get this. Now, do people with net worth do stupid stuff? Yeah, they do. But it's their own stupid stuff. They're not taking on somebody else's problem. They're smart enough. Trust me. I don't believe outside of Big D maybe following people, paying for people to be followed, something like that, he's going to keep his hands clean. He's going to keep his hands clean, in my opinion. He's going to keep his hands clean. But we still have to look at him. He threatened Nina. Obviously a big, tough guy, but he's probably the one with the most amount of money in this family, is Big D. So he has a heck of a lot more to lose than anybody else in this family, and something that if something really did happen, he may not ask any questions and may throw money at it, but he definitely doesn't want to know, and he's definitely going to be keeping, he's going to be careful. This man's going to be very, very careful. If he's helping them out with attorneys and stuff like that, I can see that happening. But I don't see this man being part of getting his hands dirty, outside of just being some brawn. You know what I'm saying? That's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. Now the Bowersocks, the Bowersocks are different because this is her child, right? So you know how parents are. Parents are willing to do just about anything for their children this day and age. Anything but holding them accountable and responsible so they don't get to this point. I shouldn't say it to all. I'm painting with too broad of a brush. I get it. But you guys know what I'm trying to say here. So Big D, to me, is not going to be as much of a problem as everybody's making him out to be. I can tell you that right now. Just from my experience, you know, that none of this stuff that I'm saying really does make a, you know, a hill of beans. It's just my opinion. It doesn't mean that there's any weight to any of this stuff. It doesn't mean that it means anything, but this is where we're at. Now, Melissa is way out here. And, you know, could they go out there? Would they drive out there? You know, to be honest with you, I'm unsure. I really don't think so. I'm a firm believer that people are not going, if something happened inside that home, nobody's going to be driving around with a, I don't mean to be blunt and insensitive, but I need to be frank. Nobody's going to be driving around, nobody in their right mind is going to be driving around with a body in their car, okay? They're not going to want to take this if this is really what happened, okay? Again, if it's really what happened, nobody's going to want to drive a length of time. You know, they're going to be petrified, okay? No, the strongest, bravest person in the world is going to be petrified if they're cargoing something like that, okay? Period. So I have to think that they are going to be moving around in an environment that they're the most comfortable in. And honestly, this right here, in my opinion, would be the environment. It's a large environment. And you guys know me. I truly believe he's on the I-40 corridor. That's truly what I believe. I believe he's somewhere on the I-40 corridor. But if I had to go back to my 101, this would be my area right here. And that's a large, massive amount of area. And the reason why I'm saying this is because we have people with boots on the ground out there. Demetria says, it's honestly a waste of time. Ellie didn't take CP or KP clothes for testing. They didn't check CPS arms for deep scratches and bites. This has been thrown out from the start. You know what, Demetria, I can't argue with you on that, because to be honest with you, I personally, you know, I understand that people that are in one concentrated area cover cases in only their area, like the local news. I understand that they think what their law enforcement is doing is literally everything. I don't know if I 100% agree with that, because literally I've seen law enforcement work all over this country. All over this country. I've seen the best of the best departments. I've seen ones that have been well misguided and totally, wholly ineffective. I'm not ready to say that about Sumner County. I'm really not. From where I'm sitting, I'm not quite there yet. I think if they got their act together and got a better messaging for the public, that would go into settling a massive amount of their problems. You can't have a case this large and have no public relations going on. It just can't happen. This department is literally going to, and once it gets chaotic, like literally chaotic, which again, I'm hearing rumblings. People are already talking about places to go. I'm seeing it, you know, with my own two eyes. I have no control over it. It has nothing to do with the Bullhorn Betty show. So I can tell you something is brouhaha behind the scenes. And I really think it would be very beneficial for Sumner County or TBI to just prepare a statement, something, a path forward, a settling of people's concerns. You're talking about a disabled child that many people believe was abused by his mom and father, or stepfather, rather. So you've got already a heightened level of an audience here. And no matter how hard we come out here and try to tamper it down, it's not going to tamper down until they hear from the sources that they need to hear this nonsense from. And you know what? It needs to come from And I keep saying reliable source. I'm not meaning reliable source like Nick Barris is not a reliable source. I love Nick Barris. I have much respect for the man. But reliable source as in, if you can tell it to Nick, you can type it on a freaking statement. That's what I'm saying. And then everybody's in the know. Everybody has all the information. There's no cryptic BS going on. There's no word salad. We see what everybody else sees, and we know that it's absolutely 100% from law enforcement. You can't sit and talk out of both sides of your mouth and be pissed off at social media and misrepresentation of the facts when you're refusing to provide them something that they can use to help narrate what's going on. Somebody's going to be talking about it. It's either going to be bad information or it's going to be good information. But, getting back to the maps, we have to do something. We can't just sit here with our thumbs up our butt. There are limited people out there with boots on the ground. So I'm going to personally, I hope other creators on this platform get behind it and start supporting measures like search parties, right? Why don't we have like a Saturday group where you guys make it fun, instead of it just being everybody meet at, a parking lot. Why don't you guys go and meet at a coffee house and get to know each other before you guys go out and embark on the day? Start making real impact. Start talking to each other. Start, theorizing with each other when you're out there. Start talking, looking at these maps, looking at the probabilities. Would he be out here? Don't be searching an area that this boy ain't going in. It's a waste of time. People, no matter who you are, you're not going to go, no matter, I'm serious. Think about it. No matter how delusional you are and say he's out of his medication and he's just not in his right mind, you're going to wander. But even in wandering, you're not going to be crawling over thorns and brush this high that you have to pull aside, because if you have to do all that, you'll see a path go through it. So don't waste your time. I know that they're probably not, but this is for people that have never done it, that may decide, hey, you know what, this weekend's a great weekend to go out looking for Sebastian. So we're going to tell you about best practices, at least what my experience has been. People go to the path of least resistance. You'll hear me say that a lot throughout all the commentary we do, because it really does. It really is that simple. The human under stresses are very simple to understand. Okay, for the most part, certain stresses, just like whenever we deal with a situation like this where we have a child that's missing, there's no real evidence on who it is, but we've dealt with cases like this so many times that we know how parents typically act. So now we're realizing the parents aren't acting right. We're looking at the parents. We don't really have a whole lot of evidence, but we're still looking at the parents anyways, because we know they're not acting like our grieving parents that we are accustomed to. So you have to apply that. Lisa says, BHB, love your thanking. These people in Sebastian's circle who just weeks ago were out bowling, smiling over pizza, sharing a meal, have gone silent with no acknowledgement of his disappearance. I agree with that. And moreover, none of those people that were hanging out with him that day, Dara, her children, Aunt Melissa, her family, none of them went out and helped search, that to the best of my knowledge. I mean, if they did, if Melissa or Dara did, excuse me for getting it wrong, but please correct me. Chris Proudfoot's playing games like he's going out and taking pictures of bushes and saying he's searching, yet he's literally, from that photo, it looked like he was about at least probably 6 to 10 feet away from any bushes. It looked like he was walking on a sidewalk. If Sebastian was really literally laying out in the grass, Chris, like, he would have been found by now. Just saying. For, a military guy, I would think he would have knowledge of searching, being part of the Navy. They search the waters. That's literally their only job. You would think that searching would become second nature to Chris. Like, he would kind of instinctually know how to do it. And if he didn't instinctually know how to do it, well, the great thing is he was military trained. He was trained by the best of the best. Just in case he didn't have that education, of course. Stephanie, it's nice to see you. Thank you for becoming the newest member of this crazy place we call the Coffee Club on the Bullhorn Betty Show. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. So getting back to these maps, let's just go ahead and pop these up here. I'm putting these up here because I want you guys to look at them. Like really look at them. I see if I can get this to blow up a little bit better. I don't want that to blow up. I want the whole damn screen to blow up. Why can't you just blow up? Why will my computer not do what I want it to do, damn it? Oh, it frustrates me when it does that. But this is kind of the area. I think, honestly, there's just, I feel like this is really more of the area, because I just feel like Mommy, you know, I mean, think about it. Who are we calling when we get jammed up? I don't know about you, but I can promise you, if something like this is happening to me, I'm calling my mommy. I'm sorry. I'm not ashamed. I'm calling Mommy. Mom? What did you do this time? Al, did I tell you I loved you today? Right? But think about it. I just want you guys to truly think about it. Who do you call when you're jammed up? And I realize that this is probably a painful question for some, for those that, you know, no longer have your mom or had a horrible relationship with your mom. I know that, you know, there are some mothers out there that aren't very good, right? I truly believe that. I think there's one that's kind of looking over my shoulder. It gives me like the creeps. I just realized that. I just got kind of creeped out. Oh, she's looking right at me too. She's staring me down. Okay, now that we can go on, I don't know. I'm getting a little nervous over here. I feel like she's watching me. Katie, are you watching? I just got like this really weird, like spidey feeling where I had all these prickly things go down my my back, and then all of a sudden I look over and you're staring at me. Hey Heather, it's nice to see you, love. I'm not raising my hand, guys, but I just got freaked out by you know, Mother Dearest here. I think she's ready. I think she's shooting daggers in my back. I think she's in the process of shooting daggers in my back. She does look mad at me, doesn't she? She looks mad at me. I'm sorry, Katie. I still don't like you. You can side-eye me all you want. Don't worry, honey. I've been side-eyeing you for a while. Nice to meet you. I'm Bullhorn Betty. We will be acquainted. We will be acquainted. I want to help you find your son. I really do. I want to help you find your son. So I can't wait to work with you. I really can't. I really think it's this. I don't know why the Bower Sox. There's some areas over here in the Bower Sox area, like going toward Memphis, that there's this Beach Creek Market. And I want you guys to see this. Now, I'm not putting it on my map because this is not confirmed of anything. But I do want you guys to see this because I'm telling you, is it Beach? I think it's Beach Creek Market. No, let me find the address. Hold on. Beach Market. Maybe it's just Beach Market. Beach Market, and that's in Gallatin. Gallatin, Tennessee. I think this is it. New Hope Road. No, that's in maybe it is in Hendersonville. If this is it, I've got to look at the maps again, and I'll show you one of the maps that I've got up. Actually, you know what? Let me find my actual phone. I don't know where my actual phone is. There it is. I'll show you guys this. You guys got to see this because there's a pond. It's right down. It's not too far from Kathy's property. That's Kathy Bower Sox. It's not that far from Kathy Bower Sox, and it has a pond behind it that you can easily, and I don't know if they have, Terry Lynn told me when I talked to her a while back that they do have cameras there, but I don't know if law enforcement ever looked at those cameras. I don't know if they ever went back there to search the here it is. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, I'm gonna have to take my background off. Hold on a second. Let me take my background off real quick first. Visual background. No, none. There we go. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see this. You see this? Let me go over here. I'm on the wrong side. Okay. You see this right here? This is like a drive path. You almost can't see it from the road. You almost can't see it from the road. And this patch goes right to a pond behind this beach market right here. And this is not too far from the Proudfoot's home. So much so, I want you guys to see this. So this is off this right here. So on his way from Hendersonville, there is a way that goes through almost from their home. But this was back when I actually thought Chris was at home at the time. And I was trying to get him back to his job. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get him back to his job. CP house been before... CP and KP's house before. Hold on one second. Before house in Hendersonville was Remington. Yeah, I think I saw that on their report, that Remington. I wonder... Ooh. Ooh. You know what, football fan? I wonder who's over at their other house. I wonder if that house is being rented or if it's vacant, because there was another case. Do you guys remember it? Who was it? Was it Athena? No, it wasn't the girl that was kidnapped that got hit by the UPS driver. It was the little girl that was staying with... that was staying with those friends, the friends of the mom, or the aunt of the mom, or the cousin of the mom, or something like that. And you guys remember that? It was, golly, I can see the poor little girl's face in my head. Her sister ran out of the house. She was left alone. They literally left her sister to expire. Everybody left the home, and the little girl ran out and found a postal worker and told the postal worker that she was gone and they had left. Anyways, the girl that Adam, I remember the guy's name's Adam, and the mom and the other caregiver was Alyssa. You remember that, Jess? Yes. Yes. Well, he took her when everything happened, and he took, I know her name's Athena, but I can't remember her, because we had Athena Brownsfield. Is it Athena Brownsfield? Is that the one? Because I know we had another Athena that got hit by a UPS driver and was taken to an abandoned property. I think something more happened than him just accidentally hitting the girl, because just saying. But anyways, Adam took her to his prior residence, Strand. Okay, so Strand was the one that was hit by the UPS driver, and Brownsfield was the one that was... So sad, isn't it? Golly, just talking about it like it's like we're having a conversation amongst old friends is just... It's sad. These are our children. It's sad. It's just sad. But Athena Brownsfield, she was taken to a prior residence. A residence that they had moved out of. How many months before? Weren't they removed from that house for like a year or something? And he still went back there and buried her by the fence line of his old property? That might, in all fairness, football fan, I mean, you get my brain thinking, because you actually might be onto something there. We have seen that before, and if it's in that little parameter that I've got there, those 4 property parameter, it's a possibility. And I've got a whole list of their old places. I mean, obviously we're not going to go to Virginia. I don't see them going to Virginia or whatever. But it still comes back to me, like, why did Chris Proudfoot have to leave the next day? Okay, we can all agree at this point that that abrupt leaving, for whatever reason, why he felt the need to leave and go to pick up that camper that next day, there is a reason. Think about it. He had a massive investigation. They had the cavalry. They literally describe it as a cavalry. I mean, I have a lot of step parents in my chat, okay? And if you'd like to acknowledge, put a pink hand up if you're a proud step parent of your chosen child, right? Because you get to choose your child just like that child gets to choose you. That's the special part about being a step parent, right? If you're a proud step parent, raise your hand, because I don't know if any step parent is going to run away from their child when they're, especially if it's living. Like, I see women in here, so that means you most likely are with a man that has custody or partial custody of their children, and you've got to deal with the children, their outbursts, everything else, and you've got to do it lovingly. And the worst part about it is you have to take more care than, say, the parent, because you are the step parent. So you have to come from a much delicate place, right? You've got to try to make that connection so that they trust you. I just want to know where they went. What did they do with Sebastian normally? Did they take him out on, we hear all the time about Seth talking about how he loved to go fishing. I'm hearing that Chris and Katie weren't much of fishers. I'm trying to find out, information about their behaviors. What did they enjoy doing? What did they enjoy doing as a family? I've never got answers to those. I never got answers to those. Our kids are grown up. It's hard. It's rewarding at times. I have to think it is rewarding to see, because I know that for me, like, my life was chaotic, and I can tell you that my family didn't expect me to, even probably survive past 25, in my 20s, it was a hot mess. I was like, So I have to think that, looking back, and the parents' struggles with their children, because, all parents have struggles with children. I'm sorry, even the best of the best children, I mean, you're going to have struggles with them, because they're going to try things. Even if you plant the best seeds in the world, they're going to want to sneak out. You're going to have problems with your children in most cases. And I feel like Katie and Chris did not know how to handle Sebastian's, I keep wondering, do you guys think maybe Sebastian's outbursts might have been getting a little worse? I mean, he was getting bigger. I've seen some parents that have adult, I gotta say, it's pretty scary to watch. I watched this one lady. You could tell they were from the country just by the way she did her hair, she dressed, and she smoked, right? So it was definitely a country home. So it was somewhere out in the country. I don't know what state, but her son was kind of a big guy, and he has autism, and obviously she's got to take care of him, until she can no longer take care of him. And he was having an outburst, and he was nonverbal. So he couldn't formulate his words, and he's grabbing her by the head like this and shaking her head. Meanwhile, and he's a big guy. And meanwhile, the mom's just like, honey, you got to calm down. You got to calm down. Tell me what's wrong. And meanwhile, he's just got her hair, yanking her all over the place. And I'm thinking the patience of some of these parents for the love of their child, and their child doesn't even know what they're doing, is hurting them. And they all they can do is just remain calm and deal with it. Was things getting to, and I don't want to ever imply, because it seems like Sebastian is a great kid. So far, I haven't seen anything that would be to the contrary of that. It seems like everybody that knew him loved him. Seems like, other younger kids didn't quite get him, so he didn't get the opportunity to have those types of friendships. But for the most part, the adults in his life appear to seem to care for him, and care for him a great deal. So I'm not trying to be any type of hurtful or anything, but it is something that we should discuss because something happened. Something happened here, and is he still around that house or was he taken further away? And we still have to talk about the very um unpopular viewpoint. And that is, we have to truly look at this case from him walking out of the house. Now, I have looked at this case from him walking out of the house, and everything that I've been able to dig, find, and everything, I just can't corroborate that at all. I can't corroborate anything other than he was in that house and he disappeared from inside that home. And they're saying nobody came in to make him disappear, but nobody did it. I just, there's something that doesn't make sense or resonate with me. So I have to think that something bad happened. Where is he going to be? He's going to be at a place that's comfortable to them if we do believe that. But we also have to look at the radius from where he could have went before the search party started, right? If he really did walk out of the house, we have to now try to map where he would have gone, and now start building that out too. So who can get some videotapes from his path of travel? Who can go to those stores and see if they've seen anything, or whether law enforcement has been by to speak to them? We need people doing that as well. Going to these businesses upon, of Sebastian's potential path of travel, and making sure that, one, whether they have surveillance, two, whether they spoke to law enforcement, three, whether they've looked at their film, and four, whether they have any information or may have seen anything or heard anything, maybe out of the ordinary, on the evening of the 25th into the 26th. Don't be scared to talk to people. If you're out there looking, I always have a flyer, right? You guys have seen me in action. I always have a flyer with me. So anytime I talk to anybody, anytime I see somebody I don't know, I literally pull out that flyer. Have you seen this person? Do you know about this? Do you know? And I ask them loving questions to try to elicit response and see if they have any information that might lead to the whereabouts. So if you're out there and you're passing strangers and you're not stopping and talking to them, you're letting potential leads, potential information go by, because everybody thinks that everybody knows about this case. I can promise you 100% of the time, out of 100% of the time, I go into communities and there are people literally a block over from where a child went missing from, or somebody lost their life at, and they have no clue it happened in literally their backyard. So I absolutely believe that there's a lot of people out there in that community that have no clue this boy is missing, because that has been my experience 100% of the time. All right, guys, I am done talking. Thank you for hearing me rant. I am opening up the phone lines. I know that you guys have a lot to say. I'm not going to tell you guys what you can or cannot talk about. I mean, we're here to try to learn something. If you have something that can benefit, please share. What I would like is to keep things, or at least attempt to keep things, on target with us trying to find Sebastian. Do you have an idea of area? Do you have a suggestion on maybe limiting our areas? Because if you see that, even that little bit of area, because I mean, I've been searching along the corridor. This is the first time I'm actually searching the Hendersonville, Gallatin area, because I had to keep it simple. I like the KISS method, KISS, keep it simple, stupid, right? And so I wanted to think, because I'm looking at this, we have to look at this criminally. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't care what they say about the criminal investigation. They shut everybody out. That's a criminal investigation. That is a literally a telltale sign that they are in a criminal investigation, period. Missing person cases don't get shut down like this. This is a criminal investigation. They can play word salad all day long, but it is what it is. This is Betty.
Hey, Betty, it's Turkey Man.
There's our Turkey Man. It's nice to see you, my love. How are you doing?
Well, I was going to ask you a couple questions about this young man that we're looking for.
Well, hopefully I can answer them for you.
Well, I don't know. Has he ever went out without his parents, and what was the transportation? What means would he have if he went on his own?
Apparently none. But that is an assumption. I don't really know, but from my understanding, the way it's been presented to us from the very beginning, and I think it was even stated on the Nancy Grace show that he's never not had somebody with him. Like people, the only thing he could really do is possibly have the turn by turns to his father, but other than that, he's always had somebody take him to and from locations.
In this day and age, young people, they don't have the mapping skills that we as older people do. They have to have a GPS that tells them where to turn, where to go, what turn right, turn left, the next street, so on and so forth. That being said, when he has been transported,
Mhm.
does he know the location he's in?
I don't think so. I think they were very specific on that, but that's an assumption I'm making, but that's based upon the interview with because I remember her talking about this and they seemed very skeptical that he could really navigate by himself, except to his father's, possibly.
Well, that pretty much makes it somebody took him, don't it?
Yeah, I mean, he had no phone, he had no gaming system. Like from what his father describes and the way his mother describes the Switch, it sounded like that really was his life. So you have the Switch, and it sounds like he was there's something with these shoes. He's adamant, we didn't make it about the shoes. The family made it about the shoes. It's obviously, this kid has something, he needs something on his feet to go outside. So him not having his Switch and not having shoes, it just, I think people that know this boy well know that those are two things that really stand out for them.
I don't know. It's a puzzlement. I know that it'd be if I was the dad, I'd be beside myself. I just tell you.
Oh, I can't
And
imagine what Seth is going through, and it's kind of tough because I don't want to know what he's going through. I'm sure he doesn't wish what he's going through on any soul around.
can I ask you about a couple of the cases that you worked?
Sure, I'm up for it if I can remember.
What, well, what's going on in Georgia?
It sounds like
About,
her trial's coming up. Karen would probably be the best resource. She's one of my mods that actually are in Georgia, but I believe that there might be a trial coming up next year, or I think it's next year, the beginning of next year. I think it's 2025. But it sounds like there's going to be a few more pre-trial hearings before we get there.
what about the Idaho forest situation? When's that going to happen?
I don't know if did they set the hard date yet. I can't remember if they set the hard date yet. I know he was trying to get it. He was trying to get it in March, between March and June of 2025. We were wanting it at the end of this year, but the way that the discovery's going and the fighting back and forth, he's trying to keep it between March and June. But I think he set it out to June. But I have a funny feeling they're going to play with that date too. I don't know why I have that feeling, but I don't know if that June date would be a hard date at this point.
Well, there's a trial coming up in Tennessee, East Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
It happened in Hopkins County, and it's going to be somewhere I think around November. But there was a police officer that got killed.
Mm-hmm.
He got shot, and a deputy, a female deputy that made the initial stop. They're going to have the trial, and if you'll message me off the air or call me, whatever, I'll give you information. You can check on it.
Okay.
But if they do it live or can, I'd really like for you to maybe do it live. I do enjoy if I can get to watch the lives. I enjoyed that you did with the all the.
Are you talking about my early mornings?
The one that you did, for the attorney. What's his name that killed his wife and son?
Oh, Alec
Uh,
Murdaugh.
yeah, I really enjoyed that following that.
Alec Murdaugh. I still don't think he's done yet. I still think his name's going to be around for the next several years.
Yeah, I think there'll be some other things to be answered, don't you?
Mm-hmm. I have a funny feeling there's going to be more.
Yeah, the young man that was left laying in the middle of the road. That situation there.
Yeah,
They have not answered.
and I think they found out who it is, and I don't think it's one of the Murdaughs though. I think it's, but I think I know who it is.
Really?
Yeah, because it was a guy that came forward really early on. He was drinking with some friends and thought he hit a deer. And when he went back the next morning, he saw all the cops there and realized it was Steven. I think it was that guy, because they did finally confirm that something from a vehicle hit him in the back of the head. It wasn't, he wasn't dropped there. He just literally dropped there.
Well, that's good that they know.
Yeah. That's what I would assume, because when they said the car, I remembered that statement from that one guy, because it really did tear him up. But, at the end of the day, he's going to have a lot more to worry about.
There was a situation I just watched a little bit on Dolly Vision, and one of his people that watch contacted one of the family members apparently, and said that Dolly wanted to talk to him, which he had not, and he was instructing everybody that don't be doing that. Apparently, they mentioned even his real name, and if you get a chance to pull up and look on that may be something you need to share with all of us. Importance to don't be talking for.
And you said that was on Dolly?
Yeah, it was. It just seen that earlier this morning or midday. I don't know. It just popped up, and I watched just a little bit of it, and he was talking. But it's not live, but it was.
Gotcha.
All righty. That's all I got. I'll get out of here.
Well, thank you, Turkey Man. God bless. Would you like to say a prayer over this, over our channel in this case?
Sure would.
All right. If people that would like to participate, you're more than welcome to participate in this if you'd like. Go ahead.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, I ask that you would be with Betty and all the subscribers, ones that's praying and seeking your will in their lives, Lord, and ask that you would be with each one of these that's lost a family member or searching, and that you would be with the ones in charge that would guide us to the direction of closure, and ask, Lord, that you just bless this channel, bless her, and put a hedge around her, Lord, that her enemies can't break. And these things we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. We appreciate that, Turkey Man.
God bless you.
God bless you
Bye-bye.
too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's see if we can keep the phones on, and because last time we usually get like one call in and then all of a sudden this phone stopped working. I don't get it, but it happens here. So we got 2 calls in a row. I think we're doing good. This is Betty.
This is Brenda. How you doing, my babe?
Well, hello, Brenda. How are you doing, my love?
Back hurting me again today.
Mine too.
It's a bitch getting old, ain't it, baby?
It is. So what do you think's going on in this case? Do you have any ideas?
Betty, you just lied.
Uh-oh, I lied. What did I say?
You said it's a bitch getting old. Your ass ain't old.
I knew somebody was going to whip me for saying that. I knew it one day.
Honey, I'm 63 years old. You still a hen.
That's what I keep hearing. I wish I felt like that.
But no, something's gonna break soon. It's got to, hon. It's got to. This baby needs to be found.
He definitely does. I don't know what is going on with. What do you think? What is your overall impression of the parents, the mom and the stepfather?
You actually got to be a parent to be considered a parent, don't you think?
I would agree, and you know, from the outside looking in, I would have thought he was a great stepfather. I would have never expected what we found here.
I raised 4 daughters that I gave birth to.
Mm-hmm.
I raised 2 sets of stepchildren.
Right.
The first set of stepkids we got at 9 and 12. The second set was at 5 and 7. All of them grown, all of them raised, got families of their own, got jobs of their own. There was no, yeah, I'm a step-parent, okay? He's giving step-parents a bad name. I was a very good step-parent. If I didn't have money to buy for all, I bought for none.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank. That's just the way it was. It doesn't matter if they're your kids, if they somebody else, it doesn't matter. When you in a relationship, you're in that relationship with all, not just one. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want part of that whole, then don't get with part of it, because it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, honey, he ain't no man.
No,
He's a little boy.
you think he would call
He's a
his
little
mama?
boy. He's a little boy in a half man's body.
Mm-hmm.
That whenever, anytime he gets in trouble, oh, let me call mommy. She get me out of it.
That's what I'm thinking too.
But I tell you, I'd like to talk to you offline.
Well, you can always reach
time.
out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I'm always available by email.
Okay, because there's a couple things I'm thinking, but I don't want to put it in platform like this.
Yeah. Which is fine, which is absolutely fine, because, you know, I'm just looking for information so we can apply it. You know, hopefully, I just want to find this boy and bring him home. You know, at this point, we just need him back, and then we can figure out what's going on.
Chris is a lot like Dodd.
Yeah.
They keep a giving and giving and giving. If you sit back and listen between the words that he's saying, you can pretty much get things.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he said that nobody can look on his property or anybody in his family.
He can't speak on behalf of anybody in his family. I tell you, that warning does nothing for me, because he's not the property. Like, I am a stickler for details. I'm a stickler for the law. I know who has the authority and who does not. So, sorry. I didn't hear nothing.
I'm just saying, honey, you got to listen between what he said. Betty, I know you don't listen to nobody. That's just
throw that out there.
Why do you think I love you? Because you're your old woman. You're a bossy woman. You know, I got a friend. I never met her.
Come on, guys.
I got a friend. I swear you remind me of a friend of mine. I've never met her, but I love her to death. She lives in California.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make me give you her name, because I will real quick, fast, and in a hurry, baby, because I love you.
She might already be my BFF. No, I'm just joking.
You know what her name is that I gave her?
What?
Bossy Bitch.
My best friend gave me the name Cheap Bitch.
She said, I wear that name with pride. I said, I bet you do.
I do too.
But now, I was the only one that was allowed to call her that. Somebody else did it, oh, she'd cuss them. But I do it, and yes, I am, honey.
Mm.
But And yeah, whoever that was, that Fox person.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I love Dolly just like I loved you. I started watching you and Dolly and JLR during the Gabby Petito. So I go way back with you. I don't have you.
I don't think Dolly was even a Bullhorn Betty fan back then. I think he dogged me. If I remember correctly, I think he talked shit about me.
I don't know. But I know he likes you now.
Yeah, he's been nice.
But whoever that Fox person was last night that went over to Chris and sent an email trying to get him on Dolly's show, whoever that is, they trying to cause trouble. Because Dolly didn't want to send nobody. He told them flat out, if I'm going to do something or I want to on my show, I'll do it myself or I'll ask PJ.
Yeah.
If it's not from us, you're being trolled.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm just wondering if that wasn't Chris himself doing that.
It could have very well been, but you know what, to be honest with you,
playing games.
Yeah, I don't really reach out to people. I think it's kind of creepy.
He's so stupid that law enforcement can get his name and where he goes. Yeah. He's not that smart, but he really isn't, honey. Yeah. People give him more. And little Miss quiet behind the scenes, she ain't as innocent as people or act like she is.
No. We're finally seeing Katie for issues.
Nowhere near innocent. Nowhere. She knows exactly what went on. She knows where her son is.
She was detached from her son. It doesn't. This lady was detached from her son from a long time ago. She ran off to the Navy. She ran off to the Navy not to have to deal with her son and left her son to, whether that was what she thought she was doing or not. That's exactly what she did do. She
didn't bond with him.
Yeah.
No. And that's sad, Betty.
Yeah.
I loved my babies. I loved holding them when they were little.
Right.
I absolutely loved it. And when they clinged to me, they were very shy. I had 4 girls. They were very shy and very protected. Remember I told you once, I know you get a lot of calls and stuff, and you don't know me, sweetie, but what happened to Madeline Soto? Same thing happened to me.
Yeah.
I was 8. That went on for 10 years. So I had to step back a little bit from that one.
Yeah.
Because it brought back a lot of painful memories I didn't want to bring up. But I thank you, honey. I so enjoy your show, and I thank you for all you do, whether you haters like it or not. Baby, when you get a lot of haters like you got, that means your ass is doing something right, baby, and you keep up your good job. And you don't worry about hate. You just doing your pretty smile and keep doing you. Don't let the haters hate, because they can't control Betty. Betty got this. Yeah. Betty got this. I love you, baby, and you have a good day.
You take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, babe.
So we got to hear from Brenda. It's, again, it's sad. We're in a situation that kind of sucks a little bit. The case ain't mathin'. It's not mathin' from law enforcement. It's not mathin' from the Proudfoots. It's not mathin' from mainstream media. It's not mathin' from social media. This case is not mathing. It's not. Guys, I wish I had more time for you guys and for the phones, but I do not. We'll have to do something where I'm going to be able to do like a 2 or 3 hour show to leave the phones open long enough for you guys to have some meaningful conversations and come in here. I really would like to focus on the maps. I think that he's somewhere out there. We need to find him. It's not just about pointing the fingers at the Proudfoots. It's not just about talking about all the drama. It's really about getting back to work, and I want everybody to start really digging deep inside them and start looking and thinking and pondering and guessing and speculating on where this boy could be. Where would he go? Some people have different experiences than I do. Some people have different, that have just different experiences. You may have had an event that happened in your life that, even though nobody got gone, but might bring up a little bit of something that might be useful and resourceful for us to start identifying some locations. So let's get working on that. This boy is out there. We've got people on the ground. It's not that many people. We need to be a little more strategic in our search areas, and we need to start getting that information to people on the ground to start searching. We all have questions. We all have our opinions. We all have our theories, right, of where he could be out there in that wild. Start sending them over to Bullhorn Betty so we can start filtering them to the group and give an explanation. If you've got an area that you want searched, there's a reason you want searched. Explain that reason, because you know, if there's a lot of places that come in, there's things that are going to be moved off that don't make sense to the person that's searching. So if you kind of explain why you think that that's a good area to be searched, your reasoning behind it, it might be something that can be done. But let's start. We got people out there. We all have questions. We all want our favorite place that we've been thinking about searched. Put pen to paper, send it over to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, and let's get to work. That's what I'm saying. So there we have it. I will see you guys here in a couple hours, few hours. You guys never get rid of me. I'm like the should stop. I had a really, really bad joke, okay? I had a bad joke, and then it was going to get me in trouble. And then we would have to pray for Betty, right? We're sick and tired of praying for Betty. We need to be praying for Sebastian. So I'll leave that comment to myself. But let's get out there. Let's start getting to work. And when people start distracting, we're going to say no to this one. This is an autistic boy. This is a medically needy boy. We don't have time for the drama and the BS. We have time. You know what we have time for? We have time to work to find him and find out if these people right here had anything to do with it and why they are really willing to not help in this case. Because that is what's happening. They're not willing to help. And we need to find out why. What is the true reason why? Is it because they know where he is? Or is it because they've already given up? Or is it because they really don't care? I mean, we just want to know. We want to know. They try to act like they care, but their actions speak that they don't. So I just want some clarification. Maybe Chris will bless me with his mouth. Take it for what you will. All right, guys. Be easy. Don't be sleazy. I want to thank Stephanie for being the newest member of the Coffee Club. My beautiful friend, Sweet Misery, thank you. If you guys did not get over there, she's been running that trial of the workout father, the treadmill dad. I don't know if that's over. I have to think that it's still going on. I don't remember seeing a verdict come in. She's been covering that case too. That was a sad case for me. That was listening to that case, hearing that case, looking at the father and thinking, you know, I understand he's a buff, but I've got buff friends, you know, and I don't know anybody that would treat their child like that. So he knew it was wrong. He never got help for whatever he was going through. It sounds like this guy was a big bully. You know what he reminded me of? And there's no evidence of this, but he reminds me of Roid Rage. You know, like it seems like I keep wondering, was he taking stimulants of some sort? Because he seemed awfully aggressive, and he seemed like he had to get that aggression out, and the only person there was his son. That's how I felt about it. I don't feel like he was... Anyways. All right, guys, God bless. Go make it a great day. We'll see you soon. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, folks, be safe, but more importantly, be kind to one another. We have enough bad actors in this world. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. God bless you.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.